Drop condensation of the coke on my chest.
No, you've spilt food, haven't you?
No, I've literally just put this t-shirt on now. Like literally I've just took a drink. It's
I
condensation
reckon
dropped.
it's food.
It's not. Chickpeas.
I just watched it though and it sounds so unnatural. You could say chickpeas. Do you want to say hi chickpeas?
Nah, I'll not take away from it. I'll let you do that. Go on. 3, 2, action.
I wasn't expecting the action.
Yeah.
Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we have Jack.
Hello.
On the video. Today we're going to do a Okay, right, so we'll try that again. We're doing a relationship Q&A, so obviously thought get Jack in on it to give his opinion, because my opinion might be a bit different to his. I kind of asked on Instagram 4 questions, so we have a few. How many do I have?
7.
We have 7, so it's not that many, but I mean, I think it'll be enough. I thought we should start off about saying a little bit about us.
Yeah.
And like how the relationship is and how it was. So like how long we've been together, how we met and stuff.
We've been together 8.5 years now. Met at school and what year was it? Do you know what year it was?
I was your end of year 9, you were end of year 10.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
So we're like 14, 15.
Yeah, I was 14, you were 15 because the first birthday that we had together was your 16th birthday.
Yeah, and then Sarah obsessed with us for quite a while. Which is understandable.
So when we had a bit of a segmented relationship, didn't we? Because we were together for a year and a half, apart for a year, but weren't really apart. We were together all the time, basically still in a relationship, but we were telling people we weren't in a relationship, but we basically were. Yeah. And then back together again. But the first like year and a half, it was pretty much me being obsessed and being at school together. And then kind of got better once we left school, didn't we? Yeah. So yeah, it's 9 years in July. We, at the minute, the current situation is, so we moved in together, how long before uni was it?
About 6 months.
Was it not more? Because I didn't decide.
Moved in January, went to uni in September. It's about 7, 8 months.
Right, yeah, so we moved in together while I was still PTing full time. And the aim was to live together the whole time, because I was expecting to go to Northumbria University. I think I've mentioned that in another video, but then I decided to go to York. So we still have the flat that we moved in together firstly. Yeah. Is that the right way to say it? Yeah. We first moved in together, so we're still in the same flat. Jack lives here full time all the time because Jack works in Gateshead, and then I just come back at the weekends and holidays and stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Is that everything for our relationship, do you think? So we're kind of long distance at the minute. Yeah. But we weren't long distance for 4 years? 5 years? 4. Been together 9. I've been at uni for 3, so 5 years. Yeah, so we weren't long distance for 5 years because obviously I was 14. Yeah. We're at the same school, seeing each other every day. And then now we're kind of long distance. We try to see each other every weeks. Yeah. Maybe 3 weeks. Maximum 3 weeks apart, and then probably normally like 2 weeks apart. But yeah, so that's us. So should we go on to the questions? Is it hard being away from each other? Then you go first. Yeah, it can be. I think it gets probably worse in the first few days, doesn't it? When you kind of go back. It's just weird when you spend so much time at the weekend with you, and then you go and it's alone. You're probably less alone than me. I don't know though. Well, you've got your flatmates. Yeah, but you go to work every day. Yeah. So you're at work 9 till 5, so you're surrounded by people. But for me, I'm only in uni for 4 hours a week, so I only ever see people in 4 hours a week. So really, I think I'm probably more alone than you. Yeah. I think that helps as well, having distractions, because it'd be worse if I think, I didn't do anything when you were away, but I think going to work every day just kind of distracts quite easily from that. And your job's quite like heavy going as well. Yeah, quite demanding. Yeah, and you can't think of anything else when you're at work. Yeah, and I think when you jump back into work as well, it's probably good for you, isn't it? Yeah, having so much uni work to focus on really does like take your mind off it. But I'd still like, it is hard being away from each other. Like, it's not an easy thing, but I feel like if anything, it kind of, I don't know, it makes you appreciate time together more. So when I come home, it's not like it's just like, oh, we're back together. It's kind of like we really appreciate being together and yeah, just spending time together. But it is hard, but yeah.
How do you know if the other person is right for you? Not at you. You thought that one.
I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know, because I've got a really complicated way of looking at relationships. So do you want to go first?
No, that's why I wanted you to start.
For me, I think relationships are very kind of fluid, and just because someone's right for you at one time of your life doesn't mean that they're right for you for the rest of your life. So someone could be, like, for example, Jack could have been right for me in high school, but now he might not have been. But it's just, I think we work because we've grown into people that we both like. And I don't know, I think people get too focused on, are they right for me in every sense of their being, where it could just be that one bit's perfect, so that's why you should be with them, and other parts of them might not be as perfect, but you can deal with that kind of thing. Well, how do you know if the other person is right for you? I think just if you can spend all of your time with them and you don't get sick of them, you don't resent them, you don't just hate your life when you're with them, they are right for you. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think you have to have like a perfect being for them to be right for you. I think it's just if you can spend all of your time with them and you're still happy and you still like it I don't know, you vibe well together. What do you think?
I think like when something happens, so if you want to go out for kind of a drink or something with work, or someone asks you to do something, or you maybe just going shopping for food or something like that, like not having to actively think about the other person. So say if someone's asking us out at work for some drinks, like a group of people, like thinking about, right, okay, well, what's Sarah doing that day, or kind of is Sarah home, or is she away, or you know, can I do it, you know, would Sarah be okay with that? Like just kind of thinking about that, but not actively. Like it just kind of happens automatically in the back of your head, the indication whether someone's right, because you just, everything you do, you think about how it's going to impact the other person directly. It's like shopping as well. Like when I go shopping, I think like, what does Sarah need anything when she comes home or anything like that. Most of the time.
Most of the time. Most of the time. Not when you come back from shopping. Or like, did you get some yogurt? No.
I think that's just an indication of just, you know, when you passively think about how everything you do impacts the other person.
Do you think that still applies though when you don't live with the person?
Yeah, I think so, because if you don't live with a person, it's you know, you got to plan it more, because like if we didn't live together and you lived somewhere else, you know, there's travel time to go wherever we go, and if you're coming here, I'm going there, and thinking about the things you do and how that's going to impact that travel time and that organisation is probably a better indicator, I think. Because like when you're home, it's kind of like you're here, so everything I do when you are here will directly impact you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't live together, it's.
But you mean that it's just natural and you're not worried about it? It just happens.
And you just don't have to like actively think, right, okay, and sit and plan how it's gonna. You just kind of know. Know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
This one.
Yeah.
How do you deal with jealousy?
Let you go first.
I think it's just trust, really. I get jealous a lot less than probably you.
Jack, no. Jack never ever gets jealous. I'm genuinely interested in how you're going to answer this, because you don't get jealous of anything. I could literally message Jack and be like, I'm going to this man's house or this girl's house after, who I fancy, and he'd be like, alright. And like, you never ever get jealous.
I mean, I do, but I just deal with it really well. I think it's just trust. I trust you completely. So I don't have to worry about anything happening, because I know it won't. I trust you completely.
Yeah. I think it's a really important thing as well when we're long distance, because we were saying this literally like yesterday. It would be so easy for either one of us to cheat on either one of us and not find out. Like, it would be so easy, but it's not even like a thought process. It's like, well, yeah, it would be easy, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah. But in terms of how I deal with jealousy, I don't get jealous to the point where I think something's going to happen. For me, it's more like I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example of where I've gotten jealous. I don't know, I don't really feel like I get jealous in terms of you, because you don't really do anything to make me jealous. Like when you talk to girls, you don't like flirt, well you don't even flirt when you talk to me, but like it's more like, it's not jealousy, it's more like protectiveness.
Yeah.
Like, so when like a girl's flirting with him or coming on with him, it's like a, what are you doing? It's not like a back off, I am having his attention. It's the, why are you doing that? Like, why is this happening? But I don't think, do you think I'm a jealous person? No, if you think about like the standard.
I don't think so, no.
Because I would never, like, you know, when there's those girls that like, they're like, when a girl just starts talking, like any girl can talk to Jack and I'd just be like, all right. Like, you work quite closely with some women at work who you talk about a lot, and your best friends growing up were girls, weren't they? And it was never a jealousy thing. Yeah. Like, so I wouldn't say that we're a jealous kind of couple, well, especially not you, but...
Okay, so how do you deal with that?
What, how do I deal with?
With, like, not the jealousy, but the
overprotectiveness. Yeah. I don't know, I think it's just referring back to knowing how much you love me. And it's kind of like, well, even if they would traipse all over you, you'd still just be like you wouldn't, I don't know, I think it's just referring back to how much you love me. But if anything, I don't have emotions towards you, I have emotions towards the girl. So it would be, how do you cope with that overprotectiveness? It would be telling myself to stop being so judgy of girls and understanding they have a reason for trying to get that attention and all that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah? Yeah.
What's changed since you first met?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Do you want to go first?
I mean, obviously, when we first met, we spent pretty much every other day together, if not every day together, didn't we?
Well, it was every day at school, but in terms of hanging out after school, we probably only had, at the beginning,
it was probably
like
at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'd say.
Two or three, but
because now obviously we live together, but it's a different dynamic because you're away, and even if you weren't away, you know, I'm working and you'd be working on whatever you'd be working on. It's a different dynamic, so it's...
That's the thing, because we got together so young, we're completely different people. So it's not just what's changed within the relationship, it's we've changed as people. The type of relationships changed, because I think when we both got into it, neither of us expected it to be a a long-term relationship, because we're very young still. I mean, Jack had, like, this isn't a dig before you say anything, but you'd gone out with quite a few girls, hadn't you? You were the type of person at school where you'd go out for a girl for like 2 weeks, there'd be like 2 weeks off and be with another girl, and like I'd just gotten out of a relationship with another boy. I'm saying boy as if we're like 8. He was another lad. But I didn't do like the loads of relationships. Like I'd had, like, with my ex, Nathan, we'd been together like 3 separate times, and then we got together, and I was still kind of getting over him when we got together at first. Yeah. And then I think we didn't expect it. So it was just a little like high school relationship, but then it just stuck. Yeah. I'm not sure why it just stuck. We're just the right people, I think. Yeah. And we actually worked with it and stuff. So everything has changed. Everything. I think I've changed the most. Yeah. Because I was so insecure. I didn't understand relationships at all. I knew nothing. I was like I'm waiting until sex till marriage kind of girl. Did not want to do anything. I was scared to go outside. I was scared to meet Jack outside of school. Not scared, that's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of scared. Like just being alone with you, but not like scared as in oh my god he's going to touch me kind of way, because that's what I'm kind of making out to be. But just like, I don't know how to be around a boy by myself kind of thing. Like I took my sister on the first time we met, and then my friend Ellie, and like, but now I'm the most outgoing, talk about sex all the time, like that kind of a person. So I think I've changed the most.
Yeah, and I think you just changed in your attitude. I mean, it used to be a time when you used to, probably it still is a little bit, but a lot more in the past, where you couldn't like ask for something, like it was a waiter or something.
Yeah,
you
the insecurity thing.
Get me to kind of go and speak to them, but now you just.
Well, I'm that person, aren't I? Like if I'm with someone, I'm like, do you want me to ask? Do you want me to do it? And like, I think that changed the dynamic a little bit, because at the beginning it was you did a lot for me, and now you don't have that. Like, you're not like the protector of me. Like, we're both people in the relationship that can do stuff by themselves. So there was a very long answer, but because everything has changed.
Yeah, I think it's just been so long as well. Like, it's been nearly 10 years. So it's there's a lot.
Well, we haven't hit 9 years yet. We're not nearly 10. Well, we hit 9.
But it's been a while, so there is a lot that could have changed and has.
And it's such a big. We've been together for such the important part of life as well.
Yeah, like
where people change the most.
Yeah, like at least two thirds of a third of our life we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you keep the relationship going long distance? I'll let you
keep it going.
Yeah.
Talk all the time. Well, when you can. Yeah. The thing is, like, we do talk all the time. Like, there's always a conversation going, but it might be like there's 8 hours between messages.
It's hard when I work full time and you're at uni. Sometimes when I don't finish work.
Clients where I'm not on my phone at all, but just always having that communication open.
Yeah, the channel open.
Yeah. I think being really, really open about feelings as well, because it can be super hard to hide. Well, not super hard, super easy to hide your feelings and just not talk about issues. But we always talk about how we're feeling, even if it's like scary, bad feelings where you're like, oh, like, I don't know whether like we're as close anymore. Like, talking about that, and then that kind of helps the problem. Yeah,
I think like help each other as well. So there's a lot of stuff at work we kind of have struggle with that you help just verbally just to talk to us through. So if something's happened at work or something like that, and I do the same thing for you if you're at uni or something's happened at uni, or
that's the thing as well, keeping each other in the loop as to what's happening during your day, because when you've been together for so long and you're not with that person every day, I think it's quite hard not knowing what they've done, like not knowing what you've done. Like, if you didn't ring me after work and tell me what you've done with your day, I'd feel like I'm missing out on your life. But we'll always tell each other what's happened in our day and what we've been doing in our day, and I think that is an important aspect, like keeping each other up to date with what's happening.
But at the same time, not too much, because I mean, like my work can get very technical, and I mean, 8 hours of each day, a lot can happen. With uni, like your psychology degree and the knowledge you have would just go over my head. So I think not, because I think it would be a very one-sided kind of conversation if I just told you on the entire phone call we had after work what had happened on my day. But like in the lowest of detail, I think the same with psychology. Don't look at us like that.
I listen to detailed conversations about work a lot more than you listen about psychology.
But it's not one-sided, is what I'm saying.
Oh no, like, I'll ask about it, and I'll not put up with listening to crap that I don't want to listen to.
I think that's a good balance to have, is keeping each other in the loop, but also not being one-sided. And What are the most What are you most excited for when you probably move back in together? So when you move back up here.
I'll let you go first.
Just you being here, I think, especially this year, this university year. It's been a lot harder for, I think, both of us when you've left, because when we're doing things, we'll have ideas about what we want to do
post uni.
After uni. I don't know how much you've told YouTube, but
they know there's a business.
Yeah, so I think like when we've got ambitions like that, I think that makes it kind of harder as well, because we want you to be here and we want to be doing things together. But also I just want you here and do things. I mean, some weekends, like, I'll just work through the weekend, because I feel like if I'm doing, it's very hard to kind of go out, and I don't mean to deter people that aren't in relationships, but it's very hard to go out and like do things in the same way when you're kind of alone.
Yeah, because you've got no one to bounce off stuff with. Have you?
Like if I go shopping at the weekend when you're not here, it's a lot quicker than more days. And that's not a bad thing, but it's a longer when you're here. But if I go to the Metro Centre or something,
that's a shopping centre if you're not from up here.
Or like just the local shops around here. Like, I'm in and out, and I just go for what I need, and it's not.
You don't browse, do you?
Yeah,
you don't
it's not
make it a thing. You just get the stuff done.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It's not a thing. It's just we just go out.
Yeah.
I think that's can make it a lot harder as well.
I think it's the same with me, and like along those lines, like seeing each other won't be an event.
Yeah.
Like, because when we see each other, it's
planned,
and like we need to do stuff in it. But And I mean, we had this before we moved to uni, so it's nice getting it back, knowing that we could just sit together and do our own thing, but we're still together, and we don't have to try and... I think because when we only have like certain weekends together or holidays together, there's a lot of pressure to try and get all the things done that we want to get done.
Yeah.
Whereas I think having no pressure, when we're going to be together all the time, it's just going to be like, oh, well, we can do it whenever we want to. And another thing, I'm excited for us like sleeping together every night.
Yeah.
Because it's like I just sleep so much better with Jack and having him beside me. And when I come up, that's something that I'm like, oh God, I've really missed you being by my side.
Yeah.
And like being by my side all the time as well. Like just being, even when I'm out walking and stuff, I just miss having your hand to hold.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Okay.
This is the last one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your advice for people who are going to be starting a long distance relationship?
Do you want to start?
It just comes back to what we were saying before, just trust the other person, and talk as well.
Yeah.
Because if you don't trust each other and don't talk, then even if, say nothing's happening with the other person, they're not cheating on you or anything like that, it can still just make it hard. Just to maintain that, because you're going to be constantly thinking, oh, they're not talking to us, or they're not,
Yeah, that's the thing. Not even stuff like cheating, like just having like a secure relationship, just having like a trusting relationship, even if it's not cheating, just being like, oh, are they happy? Are they okay with what's happening? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just having that support, I suppose, as well. So if something's happening on their side and you're not communicating, there's no way they're gonna feel the support of you.
Yeah, I think for people who are going to start a long distance relationship, I think a big thing, I'm sorry if the angle's changed but the battery died, I think making sure that you know that you are going to be both on the correct page before it happens. Because for us, long distance wasn't even we didn't even really think about it, did we? Like, as in, like, when we decided it was going to be, we didn't think, oh, can we make long distance work? It was just
We'll make it work, yeah.
But we didn't even think we will make it work. It was just like, right, okay, well, you'll live there and I'll live here, and it'll just be the relationship for them. Like, but you need to both be on that page of, yeah, it's just, you always phrase it really well in terms of, it's like, we've done it for our future together.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go off and do this because I wanted to go to uni. I went to university, well, even though it hasn't worked out like that now that we've changed what we're going to do, but I went to university to better our future together, not my future. It was for us. Even though it will benefit me, but it was an us thing that we did it for. Yeah. And I think having that trust before you go, and knowing you're both on the same page as to what the relationship is. Like, we knew before we went that this was a long-term thing.
Yeah.
But if it's a new relationship where you've only been together like a year, you might have different ideas of what the relationship's going to be. Because one person could be like what we were, whereas it was like, well, yeah, we're gonna stay together. But one person could be like, oh, well, we'll see how it goes. And I think even having that tiny little change of attitude between you could make a difference. Because if your partner's in the, oh, we'll see how it goes kind of thing, at the first sign of trouble, they could be like, oh, well, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, when there was the first sign of trouble, not trouble, but when there was the first kind of argument or thing, it wasn't even like a option of breaking up. It was just like, oh, right, we'll get over it.
Yeah.
So I'd say advice is, before it even starts, talk about every single possibility there might be.
Yeah, I think making sure that you know the person as well, because a lot of people start like relationships online, and you just
start at long distance.
Yeah, start at long distance, and that's absolutely fine. It can work, but I think you just need to know each other, and because the less you know each other, the most potential surprises there can be down the road, which can cause arguments and problems. So just make sure you know the person, and even if you don't know the person that well, just make sure that you're okay with that and you're both okay with that.
Yeah, just both being on the same page. You have to be. But just coming back to what Jack says, trust, and like what I was saying about it not being anything, just trust, and like, even if it's just stuff that like where you trust that they're not going to do anything that they know would make you upset. Like I would never think, oh, like, because I'm trying to think of an example.
Was the other day where I think it was last weekend when my friend Gary came over.
Oh yeah.
It didn't really impact you at all. You know, you didn't really even need to know he was there. But I just texted you saying, I'm out with Gary later, and I think you just really appreciate that.
Just even having that thought process of knowing that the other person's thinking about them and thinking of like, oh well, I'll just tell them what's happening, kind of thing. So yeah, I know it's a really typical answer, but trust is the biggest thing, and I don't know, making sure you're both happy, just being, not putting up with it, not settling, being truly like well and truly happy. And I think one I don't know, tough loving piece of advice is, if it's not working, be honest. Like be completely honest and just be like, no, this isn't right. Don't try and push through it for so long and not be happy. If it's not working, just be honest with each other, and if you both can't see a way of figuring it out, call a day on it. Like people are, you don't need to settle for less than what you deserve and what makes you happy. And I think if we both weren't so happy in our relationship, the trouble of long distance isn't worth it, because it's heart-wrenching leaving each other, and if you're not truly happy with that person, it's not worth it. Yeah. Happy? Okay, so that's it. So I hope this helped someone. If you have any more questions or anything, please leave them below, or like I said in a few videos, there's a link in the description box where you can ask anonymous questions and stuff. If you are you okay?
Sorry, Justin.
We're nearly done. Do you want me to move? Are you alright?
No, sorry.
Yeah, if you did, like, if you agree, if you disagree with any of the comments we had, just let us know in the comments below. And thank you for you coming on and doing a video, because you aren't that comfortable on camera, are you? But you've done really, really well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, or you want Jack to be in more, please let us know. Give a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you next time. Do you say bye?
Bye.
Bye, chickpeas. Mwah.